What do we do?
Push it down it if it's green or down it.
Do you know how to make it?
It'll go
Yeah,
green.
I own a few of these.
I figured.
Battery dead? There it goes.
Are we running? Yeah, we're ready. All right, we're back from our break. We are now going to go back to section 5 on our packet. This was going to be an executive session material, but we've skipped that. We're not going to go into executive session on this. Instead, I'm going to let Administrator Owens and Solicitor Braun go through this information piece.
Okay, this is just another one of the pre-annexation agreements that we have written up between the village and 68 Equity LLC, which is the former Carter Lumber Building at Mount Old Pike and 68. The owner, the new owner, 68 Equity LLC, they've been very anxious and rambunctious to get this property into the village, which we want because it does a few things for us. He has some plans of well, you can probably already see he started remodeling some of those buildings, and he's turned one of those big buildings into partial office space. He's planning on splitting up the main showroom, Carter Lumber showroom, into a couple spots. The people that were there are remaining there, but he's got more people coming in. And the biggest part of this is he wants to hook to our sewers and the very front of that, the property in the front of that building now has a septic system on it. So he can't develop that property. But once he's in the village, that septic system comes out, and he is already trying to market that property for another business. And he's even talking to me about the possibility of him building some kind of structure for a long-term lease with somebody. And he's already got a couple people in mind that have talked to him about it. So this is another one of those annexation agreements. And the big thing about it, if you haven't read it yet, we're going to agree to waive a tap fee and help him with 1/3 of the cost of the sewer tap up to $8,000. And the reason for that is it's going to have to be bored under 68 to go across 68 and tap into the line over there by the lift station across the street. But this is something that we do. You know, we're trying to help bring these businesses in. This also gives us an opportunity for an expansion in the future, maybe across 68 or further north on 68, because we've got another piece in here. Every piece that we get is like a puzzle piece, and we're ready for the next piece of the puzzle so we can keep going. That's part of the conversation we've had about growing the village the right way. So this is all part of it, but I think Joe said we would just need a voice motion to.
Yeah, we just need a voice motion to adopt the pre-annexation agreement.
And just worth noting, looks like I just read that, my eyes just looked down and caught this, but then maybe you said this and I didn't hear it, but part of it is that we would have a space there if we wanted to ever put a sign there.
Yes, we will. Yeah, he will. Out in front there, he's going to redo all that. I think you can see the cattails and stuff that are there now. He's going to drain all that off, but he's going to supply us a place to put our village sign and help keep that decorated. And he really wants to make that a nice entry to come into the village, very visible. So that's what that's all about.
Any other questions in regards to this pre-annexation agreement? If there are none, we would like to see some support of this. If you would just kind of either agree or disagree with it.
We need a motion to
We
adopt
need a
it.
motion to adopt. Okay, Michael makes a motion to adopt. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
By Steve.
Roll call
Let's
vote.
do a roll call vote. Art?
Mr. Mays,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Ms. Cornett,
Yes.
Mr. Varner,
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery,
Yes.
Mr. Garbutt.
Yes.
That's a new name. We have to get used to that.
First vote, check.
Okay. All right, well, that's, Art, you can go ahead with this, and Mr. Braun, you can do that as well. Yes.
Presentation.
Yeah, Art has a presentation he'd like to make in regards to this, so.
I'm going to read something here first, and then I'm going to do the presentation. But I'd like to take a few minutes to express some concerns that I have with some information that has gotten out into the public that I find both untruthful and harmful. The statement I am reading and the subsequent PowerPoint are not meant to cause more division or to suggest any punitive action to any employee or a member of council. I simply feel that the events of the last couple of days have strongly suggested the residents of this community, the council as a whole, and the employees of this village think it's time we all begin working together in an open and honest manner to overcome our inability to focus on solutions rather than our anger. And I think we all, from time to time, find ourselves focusing on disagreements rather than the great solutions that could come because of those disagreements. I've been made aware of some comments made to the community members about my performance as your village administrator and our solicitor, Joe Braun. Joe has not asked me or didn't even know that I was going to mention his name in this, and I'm taking total responsibility for doing so. I'm also going to mention our Economic Development Director and Port Authority Director, Jason Hammond. This council has allowed us to build a great team who work endlessly for the good of this community. And that includes you guys. We just kind of get off the rails every once in a while. The mayor and I are in constant communication with both these contracted employees regarding potential economic development projects, legal opinions, and matters that are relevant to the survival and growth of this community. Both these gentlemen add such a level of excellence to our overall team, and that is what we should be considering ourselves as a team, all of us. The mayor, the council, the employees, our solicitor, our economic development director, all of our committees and subcommittees, our administrator, we should all be working for the betterment of the community as a whole. I think that's what our residents expect and deserve. I try to be a cheerleader for this town. I don't answer my phone 24/7 for my health. I do that for this community. I don't respond to Facebook 24/7. I do that for this community. I don't spend countless hours with many of you on council, all of you at some point in time, we've all done this, and employees setting up and tearing down public functions. I don't do that for my health. We all do that for the community. We do that because we love the community and we want to see it thrive. I don't get up all hours of the night to respond out in the middle of a storm for my health. I do that for all of you because in my mind, I'm putting the safety and health of this community at the top of the priority list. I wish I could count the times that my wife has gotten a bit angry because I do answer my phone all hours of the night. She knows when she sends me to the store that it's going to be a 1 or 2 hour trip before I come back home, because I'm always going to stop to talk to any resident that feels the need to speak to me about any issue. I'm not asking for thanks or seeking any gratitude for anything that I do. You pay me well to do it. But I believe that all of us in some way are here because we feel public service is a calling for us, and we want to be the best we can at making a safe community that will thrive well after we are placed on the other side of that rock wall in the cemetery. I have always made it public that I won't always give you the answer that you want to hear, but I'm always going to give you a truthful answer that is within the bounds of the laws, ordinances, and resolutions that we are all here to uphold. I'm also here to tell you I will protect the employees of this village who work hard to uphold those same expectations. If we do wrong, then we should all be held accountable, and we are. But like all of you, none of us are perfect, and we will always see things from many different perspectives. We should begin to respect each other's views and make it a point to take a deep breath and consider the solution rather than the problem. I hope this letter is not seen as a negative to any member of this legislative body, any employee, or any member of the community. I truly believe the residents want to see village government that has the ability to disagree and will use those disagreements as the strongest tool they have to negotiate and find solutions from both sides of that disagreement. This is such a great place to live, and I say that from the perspective of someone who uprooted their family to bring them to Georgetown to raise them. My wife and I have both taken jobs that have allowed us the opportunity to serve others, and we're very proud of that, as I know you are proud of the positions that you hold. And I must admit, I get a little frustrated at times to hear people come to these meetings to showcase the negative. No community is perfect, but if you're going to be a leader in any community, you should embrace the positives of that community as well. A positive outlook is surely to lead to future prosperity for the community. There are people that don't like me, and I know that, and I don't care. We all have that. But the one thing that I can promise all of you is if that person calls me for help, whether they like me or not, they're going to get the same respect, compassion, and time that I'm willing to afford everyone else. And I believe that the council feels the same way, and they're going to do the same thing. Everything we do isn't about just us. It's about we, the village of Georgetown, and every person within it. I love this town, and I certainly hope to serve it and the residents in some fashion for years to come. I urge all community members to come forth with your ideas for events. Come forth and volunteer to spearhead an event, and perhaps you'll find the same love of service that will lead you to want to do more and to serve the community. Thank you for all the time and your continued support of the village of Georgetown. There are so many great things happening here and many more on the horizon. Stay tuned and keep informed. I think the next couple of years are going to bring a great transformation to our historical, aesthetic, and economic life, and I couldn't be more proud to be part of that. And with that, I'm also going to say one other thing that I just found out today, talking about growth. There's a company called, I didn't write it down, I'm sorry. It's Axel Management. They've just bought properties, 7 properties on Virginia Drive. They're putting 7 new houses here in the village. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a big deal, because that will spur more. But so, like I said, I'm going to go through this. Oh, watch it not work here. There we go. Now, the only way I could do this is, and like I said, I don't want to make this punitive, but Mike Mays, I sent you an email and you didn't respond to me, but I need to talk to you about this stuff, but I want to do this from now on in an open meeting. So you tell me at any time that you didn't say these things, and that's fine. But now people in the town have got some issues and some questions about it because they think.
I seen it at 4 o'clock.
No, I sent this last Friday. I'm not going to argue that.
I'm not arguing with you.
I asked you last night and you said you got
Yes,
it.
and I thought you did not refer to that email. You just said, did you get my email? That's what you said.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue about it
I'm
because
not
that's not what we're
arguing
here
with
to
you
do.
either.
I want to answer these questions here because I'm the one that's been called out
Well,
about
you
this stuff.
answer them.
This is the email I sent, and these are some of the questions here. I'm spending way too much money in the village and I'm being wasteful. And I just want you to tell me how I'm doing that.
I'm not going to tell you these questions right here tonight. So you can run through them questions, and when we come back to the next council meeting, we can run through every one of them reasons.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go on into the fund balances then.
You won't put me out there then.
What?
Just what I said.
I'm not trying to put you out there. That's
Yes,
what I
you
said.
are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm trying to answer the
contact
questions.
you today.
Gentlemen, let's try to calm down. Art, you can do your presentation. Let's keep it civil and let's move on.
Get it to open here. This thing's not going to work. I want to go over how our funds are broken down in the village. You can all hear. We have 37 individual municipal account balances that are combined. 37 individual municipal account balances that are combined.